I'm a little confused this evening as I record this. I'm confused because I think it was 8 days ago, on the 13th of December 2022, that one of our MPs, Andrew Bridgen, spoke in the House of Commons about his concern of the large number of cases on the yellow card system of people who had been hurt as a result of having the vaccine, the COVID-19 vaccine. And I gather that across the world, other people have had similar problems with the vaccine on their various different reporting systems, and noticing these abnormalities that have come up, more so than you would normally expect. So even if it's not a thing, the fact that it is being reported, I'm confused, because I would have expected that as something that has been at one point mandated for people who had to have it in order to keep their jobs, or to go abroad, or to visit care homes and things like that, and then very heavily advised to have it for our own health reasons or to visit other people, etc., that if there was even the slightest thing that might be a little wrong with it, that it would be investigated. So the fact that an MP has to raise this issue, and I spoke about this a few days ago, that he had mentioned it in the House of Commons, but I don't hear anything. I don't hear a clamour from the press, for example. I don't have a television, so I can't tell you what mainstream television is, but I would know that if people were talking about it, it would be all over social media from people who perhaps have been asking for this for a long time. So there seems to be a deathly silence. Now, if I've got that wrong, please let me know. I was watching a YouTube video only a few minutes ago, actually, which is what prompted me to film this. This was from a doctor, I think his name is Dr. Scott Jensen. I'll put a link to the video in the description, and I may have got his name wrong, and I apologise for that. He was asking what has become wrong with our hearts. I gather that he is a cardiologist, somebody who deals with the heart, and he says he's seeing an unusual rhythm in the heart, and he's seeing a lot of problems. He's hearing about a lot of people who are having symptoms in their heart attacks and things like that, which is unusual, because normally, as he explains, whenever he sees a heart attack in your normal way, the furring of the arteries is sort of constant all over, not just in the heart. And he's saying he's seeing all this stuff in the heart. Now, you know, I don't know how true he is. I've never met him before. I've never seen his YouTube channel. So, you know, I'm not saying that he's right or that he's wrong. And you can watch his channel and make up your own mind. I have no association with him whatsoever. But it did strike me that if he is dealing with patients and seeing a rather increased number of people. And of course, I've heard this anecdotally from other sources, people telling me, people in the comments, for example, reacting to some of my videos and saying, well, actually, this is what happened. Now, I can't say that that's definitely not trolls writing it or that it's bots writing it, but I have a real sense that you are real life human beings, and you're concerned as well. We're all concerned. But where I'm confused is the fact that an MP stands in the House of Commons, whether he's right or wrong, he mentions his concern based on some facts that he puts out. And he mentions one of our British leading cardiologists, who was a great proponent of the vaccine and who's changed his mind and is advising people not to have it. And I'm aware that we are vaccinating babies, which, as far as I'm aware, there hasn't been a long-term, say, 5 to 10 year survey or investigation of what would happen if you vaccinate babies with this particular vaccination. mainly because we haven't had those 5 and 10 years. I mean, common sense tells us that's not even possible that we know what would happen to those babies. And yet that's happening. If there's a concern about something like this one particular thing, and we know that there's a lot of, what would you say? Well, concern, I suppose, but conflicting stories and what have you. Surely, if we have it that an MP, a member of Parliament, somebody who has been voted in North Leicestershire, I think it is, or West Leicestershire or somewhere up there, that he has felt it necessary to speak to the House and say, I think there is a concern. And the reply was, no, there's no problem whatsoever. The science is finished. That's it. It's no problem. And yet the fact that we have the rumour mill going, surely not only would it be advisable for the sake of all medicine that we re-establish confidence in hospitals, in doctors, in vaccines for the future. The fact that we've seen this particular vaccine rolled out so fast, that the big pharma have made so much money, that there was this mandating of it. I mean, it's so unusual that in order to surely just get everybody to relax about it and to be reassured, to calm down, we should be talking about this, shouldn't we? We should be exploring this. We should explaining why these things are happening in a easy, downhearted, don't know what I'm talking about, in an open and free way, and not feel that if you speak out, you're likely to lose your job or be cancelled or any of those things. Surely in a democratic world, especially somewhere as wonderful and as benign as Great Britain, we should easily be able to just have this frank conversation whether there is a problem or isn't a problem and find out what it is. Shouldn't we? Surely no one can say that just looking at the other side of the argument is not worth investigating. Surely.